In this video we're going to see how to take a UXD file, use it to plot an X-ray diffraction pattern in Excel. So the first thing you want to do is go to your UXD file and you need to open it in Notepad. So I'll actually open Notepad up. Now here's Notepad. I'll go File, Open, and I'll find the file. So the file's here. And at first it will say it can't find any because it's looking for a text file, but you need to open up all files at the bottom and then you find the one. So here we are, sample PH7, open that one, and there we have all our data. So we've got the data on the left hand side is the angle in 2 theta, and the right hand side is the intensity. And what you need to do is you need to copy and paste that into Excel. So I'm going to do Control A, block it all, Control C, and then we're going to open up an Excel file. So open up Excel, if I can find it. Got Excel. Okay, Excel is opening up. I'll put the Excel file over here. I'll copy and paste it into there. So now all your data is there, it's in Excel. So I'm going to change this one. I'm going to do put 2 theta, theta on that axis, and I'm going to put int for intensity on that one. And I'm also going to label it. So when we have that file, the file name is sample PH7. So it's sample PH7 B.UXD. Actually, you don't need the UXD, it's just sample this and the name of your sample. So I'll delete that other bit of information. There we go. There's all our data. So when you want to put the next bit of data in, you do exactly the same, don't you? So you go in your Notepad, you go back to Notepad, and then you go File, Open, cancel, File, Open, and you look in the next one, take it down to all files. Let's do the sample 8, PH8. There we go. Control A, that's to copy, and then put it into Excel. Let me do that, so I'll try again. Control C, sorry, I had to copy it. Control V, there we are, there's the data. It needs to be on the same level, so that's the same level. This one is sample, I think we said sample 8 PH8B. I'm not sure, so I'm going to check sample PH8. Sample 8, and it's not sample 8, it's sample PH8B. There we go. So we've got 2 sets of data. Control C, Control V, and they're headed up like this. And I do File, Save As at this point, and I'm going to save it into the Dropbox. But you need to save it where you need to save it. So it's in Maria's one at the moment. Okay, an Excel. So this is XRD graphs. Okay. Right, the next thing you want to do is you need to grab your data. So I think I'll grab down here. Now there's a lot of data, so it takes a while. There is a shortcut way of going to the bottom, but I've forgotten the shortcut way. You've grabbed it all, and then you go Insert, and then you go the graph. And the graph you want is this graph here, scatter. And it's up to you whether you want to do joining up the straight lines or the curved lines. I can't remember which looks better. I'll do the curved ones. I don't think it makes too much difference. And there is your graph, and it goes from, because your data 2 theta went to 0 to 200, that's what we've done, 0 to 200. But you'll notice also that it's not very helpful. It's full of the data points, and actually you just want the joined up lines. So I'm going to delete the data points. I'm going to select them. Oh no, that didn't work. So I'll try that again. I'll try another approach here. You're going to select all the data points. There should be, I'll try and get it so that all of them are selected. And then we have a look at design format. There should be one, or maybe right click one of those circles. Format data series, options, and it's fill, and we want we want a solid line, color, red, width. We want the line. We say no line, and we want the line. It's the data point, the marker. That's it, the marker, and we want no. Go back. One of these is the marker options none. There we go, and we've taken the marker away, so it goes marker options none, and then you've just got the lines just like you've got on the instrument now. So this is the XRD. What you then want to do is click it, the whole of it, then right click it, move chart to new sheet. And now you've got at the bottom, you've got the graph and you've got your data. We're going to keep all the data in this part, so we're going to name that. We're going to right click the sheet one, rename, and it's going to be called data. And then the chart one we're going to rename as pH7, so rename as pH7 because that was a sample. So now we've got data and pH7. Usually what I do is have the data first, so I can lift and move it to the right hand side, so you can actually move these around. Sorry, so there's data and pH7. It's in blue. You need to change it to black, so we'll change the colour to black. There we are. And up and down the sides, let's move it a bit further this way. Can't see it. So move that in a bit. No, you can't see down here. At the moment, you've got intensity down here, and you've got 2 theta. You need to say that's 2 theta. So you need to click in the chart, go to design. Let's have a look. Chart, axis titles, horizontal title, click. And then in the horizontal title, go down into it, and you want to put, I usually put 2 theta like that in there. And up here, the titles, axis titles, vertical axis, and here you just need to put intensity. Intensity. There. So you've got intensity. And you'll notice at the moment everything's on my computer's defaulted to grey. So you need to change these. You need to change everything to being black and white. So I've bolded, selected this one, gone to home, and then the colour needs to be black. So that's black. And then this one here, same again. Select it, and then the colour, home, colour needs to be black and white. And it's the same for the axes. So if you click on where the axes are, the 2 theta axes, you get a box, and you go to text, click text, and text is solid line, and okay, now the text has gone like that, and it's a bit too bold. I don't know why that is at the moment. Solid line, okay, it's, text, outline, solid line, no line, text, there will be some button, colour needs to be, there it is, it's colour. Now that goes on to black and white. This one, click the box again, you go to text options, and then it's text, colour, click down, and you click it onto black and white. And lastly, what you want to do is put tick marks on. So click mark, tick the box again, and you should see text, axis options, and it's on down here. There should be one which says tick marks, and you want to put major tick marks is outside, and the minor tick marks is outside, and the tick marks at the moment goes up in 20, so you can make them go up in 10, and the minor ones you can make go up in 1, but it's up to you. It depends what it looks like. And if you look very carefully, you can't really see the tick marks because they're in grey. So for some reason my computer's defaulting to grey all the time. So on the tick marks, axis options, tick marks needs to be grey, and I can't see, maybe this one, line, solid line, let's take it to, there we go. And so that's now nicely solid line, and tick marks are all in black and white, and this is your graph. You can take the title off, so I'm going to delete that because you know it's pH 7 because you can see it at the bottom. So this is the graph for pH 7, and you've done the 2 thetas, you've done the intensity. You haven't got any tick marks up the intensity, so we could put tick marks up the intensity. So axis options, can't quite see where I'm going now. Axis options, let's move that. Somewhere I've lost where it says tick marks. Format axes, tick marks down here, and then tick marks we said we can just put outside, the major ones can go outside. And we're going to do line, and we're going to change it to black and white. Okay, and there we've got our tick marks. So now you've got your graph, and what you want to try and avoid is having to do all the labelling and the axes over and over again. So if you can get it right at the beginning, then it's right all the time. So you've got some data, and your data is for pH 7, but you've got data for pH 8, and presumably you'll have other data too. So if you go back into this graph here for pH 7, click the whole thing, hold the graph, right click it, and you've got to click not here, but you've got to click here, sort of down here, so the outer part is selected. Right click it, and then you go, then there's a let's see, not move chart, you need to copy. I'll try it again, I can't see what it is. Move, I can't see a copy. Move chart, no. There's a one which is move. Okay, maybe I have to click in the center. Oh, I see. Down here, click there. Okay. You click on the tab here, move or copy, create a copy, say OK. And now you've got a new one here which says pH 7 2. Change that now by right clicking, rename, and change it to pH 8, because that's the next sample here. Move it over here. So now you've got data, pH 7, but pH 8. But pH 7 and pH 8 look the same, because actually although this says pH 8, it's got pH 7 data. So what you need to do now is select the pH 8 data. So go into it, right click, select data, and here where it says series you need to edit, and on the X values select it, and at the moment it's we go up, it's selected sample 7, but we want the sample 8, so you go over there and drag down to the bottom. Takes a while. Okay, so we've got to the bottom, and then we've got to do the other axis, which at the moment intensity is there, but we're going to choose the intensity on this side, and we drag that down to the bottom. Oops, not doing very well. There we go, right down to the bottom. and go OK. Say OK again, and if you look here, this is this is for pH7, that's for pH8. Actually, they look quite similar. You need to change this so it's black and white, so it's like the other one. So yes, and there we go. So now we've got two graphs, both X-ray diffraction patterns, one at pH7, one at pH8, and it's got the whole region from 0 to 110. Now later on you might need to narrow this range on 2 theta down, but at the moment it's got all the data there, and you can directly compare between the two graphs. And that's it.